Thank you for staying with us. We're still joined by our panelists in the studio as well as on the Google Plus Hangout. But just before we went on break, Ife Adebayo, who joined us from Lagos, was talking about the programs that this administration is taking to keep youths off the streets. But I mean, you heard Ife, talk about all these programs. But
Yeah.
you know, despite that, the president, yes, still said that, you have quite a light number of Nigerians who are not, so to speak, now engaged. But these programs, how sustainable are they, first and foremost?
Okay. First of all, I would like to say that the issue here is not about the achievements of this present administration. The issue here is about the image the president went out there to present for us. I mean, he made a statement that young people sit down and do nothing. That is clear. Let's not shift the discussion to the achievements of the president. Now, coming back to some of the programs Ife earlier mentioned, the truth is Empower program has no sustainability in it. And that is the issue I have with some of our youth development programs in Nigeria. Before Empower, we have UWIN. And after this administration,
Shopee.
and SurePay.
Yeah.
Now, after this administration, you will discover that there will be the next administration will come on with another program. When you look at the whole plans, the whole designs of government for youth development, there is no sustainability that has been put in place. Now, if you are running Empower, what's the plan after 2 years? I mean, where are you going to look out for? Now, for someone that has a master's degree, some of them are just first degree. That means you have to go back looking for a job again, which could have actually done with your time. 2 years is something. 2 years is something.
Do you see this process, making progress?
No. Where is Shopee? The first question I'll ask. Where is UWIN? Do you get?
But does that mean similar fate will befall
If
the
you
Empower
tell me
program?
where those programs are right now, I can tell you that UWIN stands the future. Now, you don't just create a program, you set policies, and that's what government is supposed to be doing. You set policies that will not bring forth that kind of statement from Mr. President and that kind of image. Now, had it been you set a policy that, okay, every youth going through the school, we are meant to go to school, serve, after service, what next? Now you provide UWIN, you provide Shopee, you provide Empower, what next? Do you get? Now, if there is a policy in place that, okay, every youth finishing has this doing or has this doing, the government has provided this, so you don't have excuse for being or thinking that because your country is oil producing, you don't want to sit down and do nothing, fine and good.
Let me bring Ife into this conversation. Ife, let me just even ask. So as it is now, what is the next? What is next after Empower and all the programs that you made mention of earlier on?
So you see, one of the beautiful things about the programs of this government is that there is a deliberate attempt to reach the very people who have been forgotten in the inception of this country from independence. So people talk UWIN, people talk Shopee. How many people? So UWIN gave 10,000 people 10 million naira to go and waste. When we have a program that is reaching
you can't confirm that it was a waste.
And
as I said, you can't. Sorry, if I said you cannot confirm that the people who got grants under UWIN and Shopee actually wasted the funds that were given to them.
Okay, so even if we say we didn't waste them, what has been the impact? When you look at Empower, right, people say what next? Now, there are a lot of people on Empower program today that have currently started their own businesses, so many of them. If you check on Twitter and you check the hashtag Empower so much more, you'll see so many beautiful stories of Empower graduates, of Empower volunteers that have started their own businesses, Empower volunteers that have gotten jobs and have exited the Empower program. The one thing we tend to overlook is the overall impact of Empower. When you look at the impact this has made on the educational system nationwide, schools that initially had no teachers that now have Empower teachers working there and teaching our kids. There's the story of 3 girls who were on the Empower Health program in Delta State, for example, who realized that in their own health community, women had to travel 1 hour to do tests. From their own Empower stipends, they were able to put money together, buy equipment, and now you can do your basic blood and urine tests and other health tests in that local government. So they are making money and they are providing a solution that people will have had to travel long distances to get before. There are loads of empowered people who have started rice farms, who have started poultries, who have started fish ponds, and are already sustainable and able to get themselves out of this program.
Just hold you there for a bit,
yeah.
But I mean, you guys were asking questions like, what is the future? I mean, he just made mention of that future from what we've seen, but how satisfied are you?
If, with all this that Ife is saying, the government have achieved this, does that now tell us that Nigerians don't really sit down and do nothing? If he has said the government has done all these things, which I'm not sure of, but when you go to the streets, there are testimonies to some, and there are, you can't just say you've done all that and you have that statistics, and then you still come back and say that Nigerian youths think oil, and then sit down and do nothing, expecting healthcare and freebies and all that. If you have the statistics, that means Nigerian youths are really hardworking. That's a fact. You can't take away that from. Then, if really there is a future and sustainability in that, that means Nigerian youths deserve an accolade. If they, actually, yes, we do. If they are going to sustain that, come on, we deserve some accolade.
Well, I mean, I'm not the one who will give those accolades, but let me just ask you, I mean, just in wrapping up, of course, will that accolade ever come to the Nigerian youths who, I mean, like you said, are being engaged by the government?
So I'll respond to you by listing a couple of quotes from Mr. President. On the International Youth, Mr. President said, "Let me use this moment to once again pay tribute to all the young people that played significant roles in making the 2017 general elections a model for governance in Africa." In August 2016, Mr. President said, "Those young people are immensely energetic, talented, consistently blazing the trail in arts, sports, business, and technology. We are proud of what you have done and what you are able to do." On the same International Youth Day, the president said that in order to ensure that young people are healthy, skilled, and educationally empowered, we will strengthen our academic and vocational training institutions, as well as significantly improve our healthcare delivery. So I can go on and on. But the president has consistently given accolades to young people. He did this on the campaign trail. He has done this as president consistently at every opportunity that he has had. But even more importantly, he has gone beyond words, and he has gone ahead to institutionalize programs and projects and implement them directly aimed at young people across every sector. And beyond that also, we are doing the difficult things. We're doing difficult things like fixing roads. We're doing difficult things like fixing power. These are the things that young people really need. The vice president was last week in Lagos visiting tech companies in Lagos run by young people who are doing amazing things. Every time, just yesterday, the vice president met with young people within the entertainment sector, looking at ways in which we can improve the sector. So if there is any government that has been consistent in words and action on supporting young people and giving accolades to young people, I think it is the government of President Muhammadu Buhari.
All right, Ife Adebayo, thank you so much for joining us on the program from your base. It was a pleasure, of course, having you. Thank you once again for being on the program.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome. Well, John Oluwadero, thanks as well for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Isaac Abraham, thank you so much as well for being a part of this program and contributing as well. But then that's where we have to wrap it up on this segment of the program. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Don't go away.
Those in favor say aye, and those against say nay. There is a bit.
This week's top 5 most viewed videos begins with that of the suspension of Senator Moagege from the upper legislative chamber.
What happened was simply an affront on democracy.
In second is the accusation made by Senator Shehu Sani that his suspended colleague is responsible for the thugs who invaded the Senate chamber and went away with the mace. It is followed in third place by the video of a bank robbery in Offa, Kwara State, where many were killed and injured. The second most viewed video is an interview with former military head of state, General Ibrahim Babangida, where he opened up on the annulment of the 1993 election as well as the insurgency in the northeast.
That's all we need to do.
While the most viewed video in the past week is the drama that occurred in the Nigerian Senate following the seizure of the mace by yet-to-be-identified thugs during plenary.
Well, there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. Now, despite the accolades showered on Nigerian youths in the past by the president, his recent statement seems to have taken with it those accolades, as most youths and even the elderly disagree with the assertion. The president, however, may have his reasons for making such a statement, and hopefully, with time, he will reveal these reasons to us all. And that's where we wrap it up on the program this week. Thank you for watching. I'm Victor Matthias, but remember, it doesn't end here. It continues via the social media addresses showing on your screen. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.